All right, so here's the part of the podcast where we did like an intro or something like that. Unfortunately, we're not really great at those. So this is our introduction. I'm Anthony,
And I'm Alex.
and we're going to talk stuff.
All right. Well, I'm hoping we record this time so we can figure out if this setup is good for me.
Well, I just clicked it. So...
Click it or ticket. Hey, Paul Walker.
Oh my god. That's terrible.
What?
Why'd you say hey Paul Walker? That's awful.
No, it's a joke from Workaholics in the first season of Workaholics.
It's terrible.
This was before he died.
Well,
but it was.
You can't say it now.
Yeah, I guess it's like worse.
I have a really bad Paul Walker joke.
Adam went to the movies. Adam was trying to remind this girl he went to high school with how they all went to see Fast and Furious 1 or 2. And he was like, remember I had that funny joke during the movie? I was like, hey, Paul Walker, click it or ticket. Like, it was awesome. I missed that show. I stopped watching after like the fourth season or something like that.
Yeah,
but
me too.
It's quality stuff.
They actually lived, like that was their actual house.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, like they legit lived there. And Durs was like one of the head writers, or maybe not head writer, but like one of the writers for Conan.
Yeah, I did know that, yeah.
And then, yeah, Adam really took off. He was in Pitch Perfect and Modern Family and all that shit.
Yeah, now he's into like a bunch of stuff.
He really took off. Markets himself well. I don't know what the fuck happened to Blake.
They just did that movie on Netflix.
Yes, I have not watched it yet.
Me either.
Haven't gotten around to it. So NFL draft?
Okay, overall, how do you think the draft went?
I found it entertaining.
It was interesting.
It was very interesting. I think certain teams won the draft completely. I don't get the Browns, and I don't want to be that guy that's like, oh, the Browns, ha ha ha. Like, okay, Baker Mayfield, if we're doing quarterback stuff, right? Baker and Rosen have the highest floors, but the lowest ceilings. Darnold.
I don't even think that's true.
You don't think that's true?
No.
Neither one of them has a higher ceiling than Darnold or Allen or Lamar Jackson.
I think Baker is complete kind of boom or busty. I don't think he has like a high floor, to be honest. I think he's either going to be great or be like a washout. I don't know. I don't see him being like a middling.
Well, you also hate him. Like
Smith.
You think the Big 12 bias and that open offense and nobody plays defense type shit.
Correct. I don't like him. I don't.
Correct.
Just because it's going to take him a while to adjust to a pro-style offense, and you're trying to adjust with that with a team that just allows people to sack you.
Like, I just don't get why, if you're the Browns...
But they liked him. It's like...
Yeah, but he's going to sit anyway, so why not take Darnold...
That's a good thing, though.
Agreed. But why not take Darnold... who has a higher ceiling than him. No, I understand that.
That's not what they thought, though.
Okay, I understand that. Obviously, that's what they thought. I'm disagreeing
I have more
with
problems with the fourth pick.
But that's what I'm saying. I have a problem with both. If your quarterback is going to sit anyway, why not take Darnold? Because I think Josh Allen is the biggest boomer bust. Josh Allen could be one of the best three quarterbacks in the league in 3 years, or he could be out of the league in 3 years.
Yeah, he's a mystery, man.
Whereas Darnold has a little bit of a lower ceiling than Allen, but he has a much higher floor. And if you're going to let them sit anyway, why not take Darnold, who's got a higher ceiling than Baker and Rosen? So, but again, you like Baker better because of his intangibles, or the story I read that, like, they thought he was a leader because he showed up to his pro day thing or private workout, and some of the players were there already from Oklahoma, and so he showed up and, like, said he or some shit, and then everybody else responded he, and they were like, oh, he's just got the it factor. But whatever, you like that shit, go ahead, be the Browns.
Yeah, man,
But Bradley Chubb and Saquon Barkley are hands down the two best players in this draft. And you don't take Chubb to take Denzel Ward. And I don't think Denzel Ward's going to be bad. I think he's a blue chip guy. I think he's going to be sweet. But you Bradley Chubb, like, that was easy. That was easy. Like, and then the Broncos, we had a trade with the Broncos, and not even out of bad faith, they called us and were like, hey, sorry, we didn't think Chubb was going to be here, so we're going to take Chubb. Like, it still worked out for us. Like, I'm not complaining about that or saying anything negative. But, like, even the Broncos were like, well, yeah, let's do this trade because we're not going to get Chubb. And then the Browns took Ward. I just didn't see that. Both of those picks, I don't think they're terrible, Baker and Ward. But I definitely
I just think they
like,
caught people off guard.
Yes, and I feel like because of the Browns, it's like all of a sudden suspect. Like, I feel like the easy, not even the easy, in my personal opinion, but again, I'm just some dude who watches a bunch of football. Like, I think the easier and the better option was Darnold and Chubb. Or if you're going to take somebody, if you want to go, honestly, I would have taken Darnold or Allen at 1, especially if you're going to let him sit for a while. I would have taken Darnold over Allen, but if you took Allen, I could understand because you're going to let him sit and the potential is so huge. But either way, you're taking Chubb at 4. I just don't get how I was just shocked. Not shocked, but I was definitely like, holy shit. Because I was reading the reports during the day when it was like, oh, Brown's seriously considering Baker Mayfield. And I was like, bullshit. And then, fuck.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because a guy at work said to me, he was like, well, if the Browns pick Mayfield, he'll probably be, like, awful and out of the league. But if the Giants pick Baker Mayfield, then he probably would be in the Hall of Fame or something. Like, it's just, like, as organizational sometimes with some of this stuff.
And that's what I think lends itself to this even more. If it was some other team, it would have been like, ooh, it might be like, ooh, savvy. But because it's the Browns, it's like, oh, there's the Browns. Same thing with I think the Bills have the same thing. Like, if we would have taken Rosen.
So do we.
Well, yeah. But at least you got Darnold. But if we would have taken Rosen or any of the other QBs, everyone would have been like, okay. But because we took Allen, everybody's like, nope, he's going to be terrible.
Yeah, I think people are poo-pooing you guys for, I guess, getting Allen, but also giving up that. But my thing, personally,
we wouldn't have got him because the Cardinals would have taken him.
Right, exactly. You had to go up and get him, kind of thing,
or the Dolphins might have even as well.
Yeah, somebody would have jumped you, maybe, right?
Yes.
So you bite the bullet and you give it up and you trade all that away. I think it was like 56 and some whatever. It was
our two seconds,
twos, right? But for me though, it's a little bit more to swallow because of the deal you made in the middle of the round when you guys were able to get Tremaine Edmonds, who was slipping for no reason.
I don't get my two biggest winners of the first round were us because of getting Tremaine Edmonds when we shouldn't have. But my biggest was the Chargers getting Derwin James, and they just had to sit there at 17, and they fucking got him. Like, I don't understand how Tremaine Edmonds and Derwin James fell that far, especially with the Chargers. Like, I couldn't believe.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I don't get it. That they are.
Did you want Derwin James when they made the trade up?
I would have taken either. I felt like we were going to take Tremaine Edmonds because of the linebacker need. I thought of Derwin James for a second because of how good he is, and he could be like a safety. We don't need a safety, but because he could be like a safety monster man hybrid type thing, I thought of it. I thought we had a small chance of maybe taking him just because of how good he is, and I could see us being like, fuck it, he's a stud, take him. But we needed a linebacker way more, and I think Tremaine Edmonds is that. I just couldn't believe he was there. Both of them were there. I think the Chargers are like arguably the big, like, fucking Bosa and Ingram, and then their secondary is rolling with Casey Hayward, Jason Verrett, Derwin James, Denzel Perryman at linebacker. Like, they already played well last year and missed out on the playoffs because of some tiebreaker crap.
Yeah, but they are the Chargers. They find ways to lose when it's a close game.
They find ways to start out 1-4 every year, or 1-5, and then end up 10-6 or 9-7 and not make the fucking playoffs.
I'm always iffy on their offense. Sometimes they can keep it together, but if
Keenan Allen is healthy,
Keenan Allen does get hurt. Phillip Rivers has gotten like dinged up here and there. I mean, he played with ACL, whatever. How much more time does he have?
Oh.
And like, is Melvin Gordon going to be the same? And I mean, I don't know. It's really on their offense. Obviously, their defense. I love their defense, but it's on their offense. Can they get there? They never seem to be able to just be like, hey, we're going to be like a 12-4 kind of team. We're really going. People always have them on they lose close games, but they're hanging around, or 8-8, 9-7, whatever. They're kind of in that range, and they're always just hanging around a lot of these games. Maybe they lose 6 games by 3 points or less. They find ways to like lose those games
all the time.
Yeah, all the time. I mean, I guess I really liked. I went with the kind of the consensus. I just liked what Green Bay did.
Oh, I was just about to say Green Bay and San Diego were my 2 winners because of Jair Alexander and Josh Jackson.
Completely fleeced the Saints.
Dude, I thought they were trading up, and I was like, oh my God, what are they going to take? And I actually thought...
You had to take Lamar.
I was thinking Lamar or Derwin James.
Yeah, exactly.
Or even Edmonds. And then...
No, Davenport.
Who... could be really good, but
I get it. Like, if you really think, like, there's no defensive ends, there's no edge rushers in this draft, like, besides.
But there's a shit ton of them in next year's draft.
Right, exactly. That's my thing. Next year's draft is like loaded with those edge rushers.
And they're probably going to be better than Davenport already.
And you didn't. And guess what? That first pick that you gave to the Packers or whatever, they might get one of those guys.
What I thought,
God damn it!
What made it even worse is they did that. And then we traded up to 16, just 2 picks behind that, and we didn't have to give up, like, we gave up barely, like, anything. And I was just like, what the fuck? Like, why would you jump that
I don't know.
much?
I don't know.
I found it very foolish. But
I don't know. Even the Cardinals really didn't give that much up to trade up to 10. Like, it was crazy.
And I think Rosen wins the award now for most punchable face. And so I hate his face, and just
it's so funny.
I hate it.
I was like, not that I was on like the edge or anything, or like, but just his reaction to like what happens in that draft, and like his like natural inclination to be like kind of a pissy sort of like moany rich kid about it, like is like the exact reason I'm like, oh, thank God, because I was like, guess what? You are going to lose a lot on whatever team you go to, and you need thicker skin than, I could have been the first pick, but now I'm the 10th pick.
Everybody was very like, Rosen. I was undecided on all the quarterbacks from like the get-go. But after I saw him do his fucking... Yeah, his face and his stupid, like, I was just like, thank God we didn't take this guy. Like, he just looks like such a... And again, I don't know anything about him. I'm judging a book by its cover, which is...
Are you on, like, a leather couch? Are you in your car?
No, I'm sitting on a gaming chair. Sorry, and I was moving it. Yeah, he just has such, like, a fucking smug, punchable face. Like, I just want to punch the shit out of it. He just seems like such a... pissant type thing. I mean, like, ugh.
No, horribly
just really unlikable.
And then I heard he's just like generally unlikable, like how he talks and his demeanor. I was like, you can't have that as your quarterback, but go for it. I mean, let's see what happens there. I mean, not my division, so I don't care.
I think they got desperate for a quarterback and were like, oh shit, they're all gone. Well, let's just do this. Well, I read reports that they wanted Allen.
They got nervous because I think they thought the Dolphins would pick him, and I thought the Dolphins would pick him too. I mean, if he fell another spot, that would have been funny having all the three guys in the AFC East.
Yes, as Brady starts to wind down, that would have been crazy.
Yeah. Then at least they'll all play each other all the time. You'll really see like who won and lost. It's not like it'll be pretty easy to tell.
I think the Jets probably. I mean, again, I
think the easy winners are obviously the Green Bay, Denver, because everyone who just like had awesome players slip to them. Denver, the Colts, the Bears, like just like wow, just like you could get. When you don't need a quarterback, guess what? You get a really freaking good player in this draft. So when you're that high.
Who did the Buccaneers take after trading number 7 to us?
So they traded down. They took Vitavia.
Oh yeah, I like him, but I didn't understand
tackle.
that.
I don't love it for them. I mean,
He's sweet,
I
but-
get it. Try to do the Eagles route. Like, we just need a million different, get as many D-line guys as possible to throw in, keep them fresh. But I just think, I mean, they probably would have took Derwin James at 7, and he falls to you. You could get the same guy at 12.
Yeah, I 100% was like, oh, shit. Especially when the Raiders
what?
took Colton Miller, I was definitely like, oh, no, that was after. I was definitely like, oh, shit, like Derwin James is there at 12, where they're going to take him.
Yeah,
actually, I thought the Niners would take, like, Derwin or Edmonds, and they took McGlinchey, and I was like, okay. And then I thought the Raiders would take one of them, and then they traded with the Cardinals. And then the Dolphins got Minka, or I thought the Niners would take Minka, or the Raiders would. Or just all these dudes who, and I know you're not high on Minka, but I saw all these dudes that I was like, well, they're going to go here. They're going to go here. And then, especially with the Bucks, like, you trade out of 7 to 12 and can still grab a blue chip dude that you really need. And I think Vea is good, but I would have taken Derwin James.
Here's my Browns dream draft if I could have done it.
Oh, okay.
Stay at 1, and I take Chubb.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know necessarily how the fallout happens after that because I took Chubb, but let's just say the Giants stay at home and take almost the same thing happens. Let's say...
Well, yeah, because Gettleman said that when Barkley was on the board, he told everybody to not take any calls because they were going to take Barkley. So they're taking Barkley no matter what.
They're taking Barkley. I think the Jets are taking Darnold, no matter what.
Yeah, I agree. Well,
even with Mayfield.
Ooh, oh, what?
I don't think from what I've heard from McCagnon and everybody, like it was Darnold, then Rosen, then Mayfield.
But he's not going to come out and be like, well, we wanted this other guy.
I mean, that'll come out eventually.
I don't know.
So we'll see. But I just think it was Darnold was the guy. They just never thought they could get him. That's why it was all the Mayfield talk was there.
Well, yeah, they shouldn't have gotten Darnold, again. But
the
Browns.
Correct.
Brown's gonna Browns.
Right. Brown's gonna Brown. So the 2 and 3 shake out exactly the same. Okay. Now 4, I do not take Denzel Ward. Sorry.
No, you have to take a QB now.
No, I do not. I'm taking Roquan Smith.
Wowzers. Because then you're trading back up?
Yes. Because I want to trade back in with the first pick I have in the second to get Lamar.
Oh, that's very risky. You know what's funny is the Bills ended up doing the plan that I told you I wanted to do.
Still take Nick Chubb in the second like they did. So I don't get like the top Barkley, but I get Chubb, who's like the second, third best.
You get 2 guys named Chubb.
Right. Double chubbing. So
wow, there it is.
So the Barkley, I don't miss out on Barkley as much, but you can't replace Chubb. I don't think you can replace Roquan Smith. I did have Quinn Nelson in my head too, but I figure if you had Chubb, Lamar, Myles Garrett, and Roquan Smith, I'd feel pretty good about that.
I would agree.
Yeah. I mean, your offense would be. I mean, I like Lamar, so like I'm like that's crazy. I think it's crazy that he fell so much. But I mean, I wouldn't have took him at 3, I guess, if Darnold was there. But I liked him better than Mayfield. I liked him better than Josh Allen. I liked him better than he was my second quarterback. So what am I gonna do? I mean, my team ended up with the guy that I like the most. So I'm cool with that. And we'll see where it goes. But I just think if you're the Browns, I think that would have been like an interesting draft if you got all those guys, how it lined up. Now, it went a little differently. So
I don't want to rake him over the coals too much.
Only because you got Tyrod. I know he throws from the pocket. He's not a big runner or whatever. But maybe you can start switching that playbook a little bit to like the Lamar playbook, because you know you're going to have to run like a Lamar playbook. Or maybe
playbook. Like they can teach Tyrod to like throw over the middle.
Right. But I mean, this was the thing, right? They got the Ravens got RG3 because they wanted to start this next playbook, this after Flacco playbook, and they need kind of a middle guy. And that's how they're going to kind of like transition to it, I guess, with having like sets in there that RG3 run and Lamar can run. And I just think, I don't know. I mean, maybe the Browns just, I mean, maybe they all go there and they're awful, but I don't know. That would have made sense to me.
I just think they open themselves up too much for scrutiny. And I mean, I guess you're not making picks so that people won't chastise you or whatever, but I don't know. I all the quarterbacks.
Maybe whoever they took, they would have got poo-pooed on. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, maybe it would have been anything no matter what. I'm iffy on the quarterback situation, like, with everybody. I thought they all had
too,
flaws.
But I don't love the ones next year. I don't love them.
No, I don't either. And I thought this year's guys all had, like, they all were all different in their abilities and who they could be and who they are now. So it was kind of like whatever on a lot of the quarterbacks, because I think they all had different. You could make a case for any of them being the best and any of them being in any order.
To me, all four of these dudes, or really all like five of these dudes, are better than Trubisky to me. Now Watson, obviously, like he was just like misjudged by a lot of people. But like,
I still don't think Deshaun Watson is that great.
I think it's pretty good.
He had a couple good games and pulled off some cool shit.
I know he has the fantasy stats or whatever, but
we gotta calm down.
I think when he has a full season, you'll see he's going to be pretty good for that team.
Yeah, I'm not super. I don't know. I'm just not like. Again, he had some cool moments and some cool fantasy shit. And I know he did well in some games, but yeah, I'm definitely not like, oh man, like everybody missed on Deshaun Watson. Like, we'll see.
They did. You're gonna see. They're gonna win that division.
No, the Jags are winning that division.
Okay.
The Jags are winning that division. Their defense is too fucking good, and they got Ronnie Harrison in the draft, which is fucking crazy.
All right, we'll see.
Are we betting right now as to who's winning the AFC South?
I think the Texans, hopefully with J.J. Watt healthy and everyone healthy, I think the Texans have a good shot at winning that division.
Are they? But not good shot. They're winning it?
I think they're winning it, yes, right now. I mean, I would like to look at their schedule a little bit more, I suppose, but yeah.
Oh, Captain Backtrack. Here he is.
Can I just – one sec.
Look at their schedule.
No, I do think – because guess what? Their schedule is going to be better than the goddamn Jags schedule.
Okay, but the Jags are a better team.
No, but it was just so but like the Texans would have had the fourth pick this year.
Yes.
And so only because they lost their quarterback. And they're facing, that's why you get to face like the Browns and the Jets and
I know. I know how it works.
How it works, yeah. Actually, I think they're facing the AFC East this year. And they're facing the NFC East this year.
Oof.
Which isn't bad. I guess the Eagles and the Pats. But other than that, like, are you really afraid of the Cowboys? I mean,
they lose to the Giants.
Are you really afraid of the Broncos with Paxton Lynch?
Oh, you mean Case Keenum?
Sure. Sorry. Whoever's starting by then. It's later in the season.
Wait, they have to play the AFC West? Oh, yeah, because the Broncos finished last. Wow, I still can't believe the Broncos finished last. That's crazy.
Yeah, Broncos finished last. So just all the last teams.
Yes, once again, I'm aware of how it works.
No, I do think the Texans will win.
You're committing to that right now.
Yeah, you know what? They don't have a hard schedule. They do have a tough last two games, Eagles and Jags.
Jags are winning that division.
Okay.
So you agree. I'm glad you agree now. Welcome to the correct side.
No, they're not winning.
Yeah. I don't know how you can
I don't like the Jags, dude.
I don't like the Jags either. I hate Jalen Ramsey.
Are you telling me that Blake Bortles is better than Deshaun Watson?
No, but I'm telling you that the Jags defense is better.
That means they have to win every game like 9-6.
The Jags defense is better than everything on the Texans.
No. It's Like if you think first of all, I don't even think the Jags defense is like an A plus defense.
They're
like
defense.
They have lapses all the time. They let up how many points to the Steelers? Like
but the Steelers are also an all-pro studded offense in every way.
Yeah, but they couldn't even get anything going earlier in the season. Like, I don't know. It's just.
But the Steelers are a well-coached team. They have an all-pro quarterback, 3 number 1 receivers. Well, had because they traded Martavis Bryant. Two, the best receiver in the NFL and 2 very highly rated number 2s. The best running back in the NFL. And then, that's hard to stop, period.
Okay, great. You let up 37 points to the Titans.
When the last game of the second last game of the year, right?
No, that was the second game of the year.
The second game of the year?
Yeah, I'm going through stuff.
How many didn't the Titans have a bunch of defensive touchdowns that game? And it's also week 2. Nobody knows who they are.
Oh, nobody. Of course, week 2 doesn't count on the schedule. I forgot.
No, it does count. Well, actually, everybody knows. Yeah, your week 2 result doesn't go into your 16-game results.
Jets beat them.
The Jags.
Yep.
Yeah, I know, on some crazy fluky shit.
Okay. The Rams beat them.
Rams are a good team.
Okay. Granted. They only beat the Browns 19-7.
Okay.
The Cardinals beat them.
Okay. Cardinals beat them when they had Carson Palmer?
I don't know. It doesn't seem like it was later in the season.
What week was it?
Oh God. The game was played on November 26th,
so Palmer was out.
It had to be week 11, 12, something like that. Okay.
I know the Texans are a sexy pick.
I don't think it's sexy. I just think they were only kind of really bad because they didn't have their key stud defensive player, and then they didn't have a full season from the rookie quarterback. They allowed 44 points to the 49ers in the second to last week. And then the last week, they lost again to the Titans. So they lost twice to the Titans.
They also were locked up in the last game of the year, and they played their starters but didn't really, give a shit.
Some of those are bad losses, though.
I understand that, but
I would have rather they lost to, the Rams, obviously, that's fine. They should have, lost to the Chargers to lose to the Jets. Jeez. Why are we winning? Why are the Jets winning that game? Jesus, come on.
Yeah, you really fucked yourself there.
I know. Why are we even trying? It's the 4th game. We're probably out of it already. We had to be 0-3. Come on, man. You're killing me. I just don't think they're an elite defense, like a Ravens style defense, or what I think of the 09-10 Jets defense, or just a really wow, the defense is really propping this team up kind of.
So the Texans lost to the Jags week 1. They got stomped.
You cannot trust Blake Bortles, my friend.
They lost to the Jags.
Trust Blake Bortles.
Let me finish. They lost to the Jags. They barely beat the Bengals. They lost to New England in a good game for Deshaun. They beat the Titans. They lost to the Chiefs. Beat the Browns. Then lost a close one to Seattle.
You can't say the whole thing. Lost out the whole season, and
I understand that.
Watson's out the whole season. You can't just go through their schedule. Obviously, they lost a lot. It's not like they had their full team. The Jags had their full team the whole year.
They were only missing 2 players.
Yeah. What the fucking okay? Say Brady goes down in week 1, similar to he does against the Chiefs. They're not going to do so well.
No, but they're still going to be 10
guess what?
6.
They're one player. No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
No, they wouldn't. Brian Hoyer.
They did it with Matt Castle.
Who cares? Brian Hoyer could not win 8 games.
With the Pats, yes, he could.
No, he can't because the team.
Yes, he can.
No, because the team's not as good as when that team existed.
Belichick will still find a way.
They don't have a defense anymore.
Or cheating. They're still good enough to get 10 wins.
No, they're not. They're not
they have
good enough
coaching.
to get 10
they
wins.
Know what they're doing.
No, they're not.
The Texans fell apart because 2 guys got hurt. And I recognize
what the fuck? It was the quarterback awesome. And a defensive player of the year who's their best player on defense.
So
no shit, they're gonna
quarterback
be bad.
That they started out of nowhere. A rookie quarterback they started out of nowhere and he goes down and they fall apart completely. Like, I just don't think they're that good that it's like, well, they're going to win the division. They're going to go from the fourth worst team in the NFL because they lost 2 guys to being a first place team in that division. First of all,
yeah,
we also might be
you realize teams do that every single year, right?
We also might be overlooking the fact that the Colts might, if luck is luck, like, are going to present a problem as well.
I just don't think he's going to be himself.
I feel bad for him. That's
just because the rust factor. Even if he gets it together, I don't think it's until about halfway into the season.
It depends on when he starts throwing.
But I mean, I love the Quentin Nelson pick. You got to protect him. I mean, I love some of that.
I wanted them to take Roquan for their sake. I mean, I'm glad like they didn't, but
do they have the weapons on offense? I mean, what'd they lose? Moncrief, but do they have enough? I mean, is Ty Hilton really good?
T.Y. Hilton, I mean, with luck, yeah. And then they have a good running back. They have a good tight end. Who's
the running back now? Because Gore moved
Mack.
on. So they just have Mack, right?
Marlon Mack.
Are we fine with that, or does he need a timeshare?
No, he's sweet. He was good last year, and they sucked.
I didn't like him. I had him in fantasy. I kept dropping him.
Yeah, so did I, but he didn't because they kept giving shit to Gore, but he would still get like a carry a game that he would bust for like 40 yards or 50 yards. He's explosive and he can catch.
Well, I guess we'll see. I don't really like their team though.
No, I don't have any faith. They never have defense. I need to see the Texans' schedule for this year.
No problem, man.
You don't tell me no problem. I'll tell you what's not a problem.
I'm gonna pick the Texans.
Yeah, I'm aware.
I'm also gonna say the Rams aren't gonna make the playoffs, but
we have this. I don't know how I feel about the Rams. Okay, I don't need a fucking write up. I just want to know the schedule. Okay, week 1 they're at New England, loss.
Oh, Texans. Wait, let me get it. Calm down with your.
I'm on it already.
I'm surprised you're just not. Oh, okay. I know your mentality is just to say loss comes out of your head, so I'm here to check you a little bit.
Not true at all. You're a bigger curmudgeon than I am. Week 1 at New England, loss.
Maybe. I only say maybe because of that Chiefs game last year, and I just think like they kind of get off to slower starts now. I'm just putting that out there. But
okay,
with like a fast offense that can kind of like spread it a little, maybe they like, I don't know, maybe it's like fluky, but you saw the Chiefs. I don't know.
Okay.
But let's say we could say loss, obviously.
Okay. Week 2 at Tennessee, I'll say win just to be devil's advocate.
Ooh, thank you.
Week 3, the home opener against the Giants, loss.
No way.
Okay, so I'll just for argument's sake, I'll give you that. So they're 2-1. Week 3 at Indianapolis, win, so they're 3-1.
Yep.
Then home against Dallas.
Dallas atrocious.
4-1. Then they play the Bills. I know how you feel about that. So 5-1.
Because the home
game. At Jacksonville.
I say they probably lose at Jacksonville.
5-2. Home against Miami.
Oh, I gotta win. Miami's a garbage fire.
6-2.
Oh, do you see Denver? All the mocks for next year? They all have us, your team, my team, and the Dolphins as like the top 4 picks in any of them that I see.
Which I don't understand.
They have us as the number 1 pick taking Nick Bosa, like 3 of them that I looked at.
I saw Todd McShay's, and we're number 1, and we're taking Ed Oliver, which I would be stoked if we got Ed Oliver, but there's no way in hell that we're going to be the last. Like, I'm not saying we're winning the Super Bowl, but there's no fucking way in hell the Bills have the worst record in the NFL next year. I just find that batshit crazy.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't know, man.
Well, I mean, but that's like a...
You never know what's going to happen.
That's like a sexy thing, though. Like, Bills going to Bills, Browns going to Browns. Like,
well, take probability's sake. But there's also, I mean, like, there's that thing that, like, half of the playoff teams are not going to make the playoffs. So it's like, let's look at half the playoff teams.
Yes, but there's a difference between...
Which half of them are going to drop off the face of the earth?
But there's a difference between not making it and being the worst team in the NFL.
No, I know that. I wasn't saying I forgot you even made the playoffs barely. I was more saying it because...
Keep throwing those things out there. Like, I get it. You're upset. I understand.
I was more saying it because...
You're an asshole?
No. that I think a lot of the bottom end playoff teams, they might be the team. Like, I could see the Bucks being the worst team next year. Like, I could
I can see that.
I could see the Bears still being an awful team next year. I don't
Redskins.
know. There's so many bad teams.
Yes, there are.
So, all right, keep going with your little exercise.
First of all, it's not little; it's average size. So then they're at Denver. I'm calling that a loss.
I get Case Keenum. Fine.
Yep.
Fine.
Case Keenum, but more importantly, Von Miller and Bradley Chubb. So that's 6-3. Then a bye week at the Redskins.
Oh, everyone beats the Redskins. I think the Redskins could be the worst team this year. No, you don't think they're going to be the worst? Why? You're scared of Alex Smith and Chris Thompson?
I don't think the Redskins are that bad.
Oh,
I'm trying to think of who I think would be the worst team in the NFL this year.
Dude, I think they're bad. Only because I think the Giants are getting better. The Cowboys are still going to be fine. Now, at least they have Zeke.
I think the Cowboys could be shit.
I think the Cowboys could be real bad, too.
Like, if you told me the Cowboys were, like, end of the year at, like, 4-12,
I wouldn't be surprised at all. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Whatever happens, I think this ends up being Garrett's last year. I don't see them getting over, like, 8-8, but I don't see them being completely dumpster fire either.
Let's play who signs Des Bryant.
Well, no one now, apparently. It's like...
But who ends up with him? I can't believe he turned down that deal from the Ravens. He looks like a fucking idiot now.
Well, because he is an idiot, one. Two, everyone knows... The fact they didn't sign before the draft is very bad because now everybody's happy off their own, like, young talent.
That was stupid as shit.
Very stupid. And
as shit.
On top of that, everyone's just like, oh, you know what? Let me watch some tapes of Dez lately. Oh, yeah, he's pretty shitty.
Yeah,
what are you gonna do?
No
what are you gonna do? Because he wants whatever he wants, money wise.
You heard what the Bills GM said about him?
You heard me talk about this. No, go ahead. What did he say?
He was like, "We watched the tape, but we won't be doing anything more than that. Like, we're not going forward after we watch." And
you were,
tape.
Dude, you were like, you were on your soapbox for him like 2 weeks ago.
Not true. First of all, my soapbox, I have not unpacked it yet. It is still in the closet.
No.
Second of all
the viewers, please tweet. I am this guy if he still has a
tweet at Anthony's soapbox.
Thank you. Tweet at this guy. And
no, I was not on my soapbox. I said he was better.
It's probably not recorded because you never record anything.
I said he was better than your receivers.
Yeah, which is not true. He's horrible. He is not good. I guess if I got him for like $3 million, I would take him. But I really wouldn't. What are you gonna do? He wants what 10, 8 to 10, right? What are you going to do?
Well, he turned down 3 for 21 from Baltimore, so he wants at least 8 because
he wants at least 8, right?
7.
I guess if I don't even want him. He's like
what a fucking ass though. Like you get 3 for 21.
Locker cancer room. Like as far as like locker
a locker cancer room.
Sorry,
a locker cancer room.
That's even worse.
That's a terrible thing. The whole room has cancer.
He locks people in the cancer room.
He's a cancer room locker.
Damn him. So he's going to be, as soon as he doesn't get the ball enough, and he won't because he's basically like a glorified slot receiver at this point.
Yeah, but he's too slow to be in the slot.
He's going to be all peed off, and I'm like, he's just going to ruin things. Like, how do you bring somebody like that in your team? I can only see the Browns or the Raiders doing that.
He should just go to a really good team and be their number 2, and that's it.
One of my best friends is a Raiders fan, but let's bring up that the Raiders might have a chance to be like 2-14.
I don't think they're that big.
They have a chance.
Well,
just because
Crabs.
My
they got Brian.
My main thing is now that Gruden's going to try and change the entire organization from like the top down with how they think and how they run plan and stuff.
Yeah, already got rid of Marquette King.
Right. So now you have a team that was kind of set in their ways offensively and like defensively for a little bit. And now the whole team has to kind of relearn he likes his lingo. So like definitely a harder playbook. I think just vocabulary wise. And I just think it's going to take a while, and Chucky's going to get a little pissed off, and people are going to start be fired or cut or whatever, and it's just not going to go well. I don't think this first season is going to go well. Las Vegas, here we come. Wait, we never finished the exercise. What were we at? Redskins. You didn't say you were having a hard time saying they were going to lose.
I'll give them a win. So 7-3. Home against Tennessee. They're going to lose one of those games against Tennessee.
That's fine. So
I'm just going to call this one, and I'll say 7-4, whatever.
Okay.
Home against Cleveland, win. That's 8-4. Home against the Colts, I say they lose, and they're 8-5.
Fine.
Andrew Luck will
That's
be cooking
crazy.
by then.
No, he won't.
Andrew Luck will be cooking by then.
Yeah, cooking at home.
Yeah, after a delicious victory in Houston.
He will be on the IR just cooking some eggs at home, watching whoever.
He will be he will be infinitely relaxing, so he will be on the IR. He will be infinitely relaxing, cooking at his house after beating the Texans on December 9th. Then they play you guys.
I think
9-5.
Colts are going to be bad again as well. But okay.
That's fine. So then they play you guys. That's 9-5.
Wait, what? How do we get to 9-5? Fine, okay. You're just poo-pooing this. And you're going to give them 9-7.
No, then they play the Eagles. Oh yeah, then they play the Eagles. They're losing to them. That's 9-6, and then they get to the Jags at home. Maybe they split with the Jags and they end up 10-6. But I see them 9-7. No, I could see them anywhere from.
Dude, they could be 12-4.
They could be 12-5.
I think they could be 12-4.
1, 2, 3.
The thing is, they would have to beat the Colts.
I also
play with the Jags and beat the Titans.
I also think they lose to us.
Of course, you think that.
No, I don't. I wouldn't. I don't do that. You know, I don't do that. Stop.
Dude,
Stop trying to paint.
Dude, you're picking first. McShay said you're picking first next year. You're picking first next year.
You're right. McShay said it. He also said a ton of other things that were super inaccurate about the draft all the time. Who was number? Who was somebody? I think at this time last year, Malik Jefferson, the linebacker from the Texans, was like his 4th overall pick in like the draft for this year. Like shit just changes. I don't give a fuck what McShay says right now.
No, he actually had a pretty good early mock. I looked at it. It was pretty good. Everyone had Malik Jefferson, but that's right. He probably had 13 of the players in there, which isn't like too wild. I like to take a look at that before the draft happens to kind of see like, okay, what happened? Like, be like,
what changed?
Well, it's like, hey, Baker Mayfield wasn't anywhere on these rounds.
No, people had him like a 3rd or a 4th rounder.
Right. So did he really have like what really happened here kind of thing? Like for instance, he had Josh Allen going like 3rd, right? At the time, or 4th or whatever. Well,
at this time last year, Allen, Rosen, and Darnold were like
1, 2, 3 or whatever.
Blue chip of blue chips.
Right. You love saying blue chip for some reason.
That's like a standard term for like a stud prospect.
You sound like a 1950s college coach. Like he's a 5-star. So
stuff.
Correct. Stuff. No, but those 3 guys, like the Rosen, Darnolds, Allen, at least they were on the radar within the top 15 picks. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Derwin James was on like the rate. He was on everyone's like top 15 picks or whatever it was.
Yeah,
like,
Minkah Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, Minkah Fitzpatrick was on everyone's like, you know, like Connor Williams actually slipped maybe a little, but he was in there. Like all these guys were like there, you know. Chubb was there. So like,
and you were there. And
you were there. So what happened to some of these guys to make them just rocket to the top? You know, I'm sorry, but I didn't see Marcus Davenport anywhere.
No, you agree.
When I was doing it.
God, the Saints, man.
Hey, man, they have the team, though. They have, like,
Yeah.
So what are they going to do? Like, I get it. Whatever. They think they need an edge pass rush because then we're going to win this year? Okay,
yeah, but
fine.
Is he going to give that this year? Like, is Marcus Davenport going to have 10 sacks?
I mean, he could. He's not it's hard because he went to the whatever UT San Antonio.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, there was a severe drop off after Davenport, and there was also a drop off from Chubb, and there was just you were not going to get an edge pass rush guy. You were just not going to get him. And if that's all you think you need to win a Super Bowl, I guess I get it. But you gave up way too much.
You gave up a first that you did not have to give up.
I think they think this might be a 1-year window or something. That's the only thing I could think of. They think
Breeze is on that 2-year contract, but that's basically like a 1.
Right. Maybe they think this is it. This is the year, and if it's going to happen, it's going to happen this year. We had an awesome draft last year. Let's just have a horrible draft this year and go for it.
That could be the case. Let's follow up our great draft with a bad one.
Yeah. Well, they had a really good one, so I guess they just get a.
The Bills beat the Texans in Houston. I'm calling it.
Bills beat the. Oh, what week is this?
Oops.
Like middle of the season or something, or
week 6.
6. Okay. When's your bye week?
Week 11.
Oh yeah, well, late bye week.
We all have it. The entire AFC East is on bye at the same time.
Oh, week 11?
Yeah, I think we're
I
all
thought we were
11.
week 10 for some reason. Okay.
Maybe it is week. I know we're all in the same thing. Hold on, let me. Yeah, it's week 11.
All right.
We have a tough ass schedule.
Yep. We need to come up with some sort of conclusion for this episode of the draft episode, you know.
Wait, was I supposed to be recording this whole time?
Yeah, I mean, it would have been nice.
I definitely haven't.
Okay.
Just kidding.
I know, because you said you were recording earlier.
I know, I really had you going. It's all right.
You know what I hate? That we had this horrible game of Jets-Lions on Monday night to open the season.
That really pisses me the fuck off.
What the fuck?
Not to be a dick, or I'm not trying to talk shit about the Jets, but like the Jets and the shitty fucking Lions, like, come on.
You know what?
And then it's like, oh well, Matt Patricia faces his old team, or faces the Jets, who he's always facing.
You know what?
No one cares.
Okay, if you're gonna give the Jets one game or whatever, I would have actually given them. I would have done Jets-Browns. I know that sounds weird and sounds like probably the worst game of the year. But you have, teams. But you're basically betting that the 2 top quarterbacks in the draft are going to be on those teams, and you're like, oh, the young guns kind of thing, or like, will they get time? Blah blah blah. But I don't know. I guess it's week 1, so they wouldn't really get time. But
it's just a gross game. Like no one is trying to see the Lions. They're not going to the playoffs. They are forever 6-10 to 8-8.
No one would watch that game unless you're a Jets or a Lions fan, I think.
The only way I'm watching that game is if it has fantasy football relevance to me. Like if I somehow have Theo Riddick or Amir Abdullah,
right? That's it.
Or Golden Tate.
That's all I can imagine. I don't think I'd grab anybody from any of those teams. I mean, although McCown does like Robbie Anderson, so if he can get his life figured out.
Yeah, but he's going to get covered. He's going to get covered by Slay, and Slay's pretty sweet.
Okay, then Anunwa. I mean, he's a good possession guy in a PPR.
Yeah, he could do well. Who's going to start at running back? McGuire or Bilal Powell?
No, Powell. Powell started with McGuire as second.
Yeah, so maybe like somebody's got some injuries or not a great thing, so they start one of them as a flex.
Powell catches out of the backfield pretty well if he can. Whatever they can just.
McGuire's the one who
but they're changing. The thing is, they're changing the offense. Now it's that Denver Broncos offense, that Shanahan offense. So
zone running,
zone run scheme, and so we'll see how it goes. I mean, it's gonna be a little bit different, a little bit of change here from the Chan Gailey 4 wideouts all the goddamn time,
nonstop, no matter who your quarterback is.
Exactly. So definitely gonna be a little different. Game. I don't know. I would have put the. I don't know if the Jets had to have one primetime game. I guess they technically, I think we have 2 primetime games. I'm not sure. I think we have like a Thursday against you guys or a Thursday against somebody.
No, it's the third. You have a Thursday against the Browns.
Oh, okay. So that one makes a little bit more sense.
We only have one primetime game. We host the Patriots on Monday night like we gate.
We usually play you like in Thursday night. That's like
some trash ass game that no one wants to see because they can't see the colors.
Color rush, yeah. I would have done the Jets Vikings just because of the Cousins thing, just as like a storyline.
Someone's related. Game. Someone from the Jets is related to somebody on the Vikings.
No,
are they first or second cousins?
Nice try. I know the game would have been like
Todd Bowles and Zimmer are related.
Hardly watchable, but that's probably what I would have done.
The Vikings would kick the shit out of the Jets.
Yeah, it's a home game for the Jets at least. I mean, you could just talk about Cousins for 3 hours.
I don't
whatever.
think the Jets will be that bad.
I mean, it's better than the Jets Lions. Oh, of course. I mean, I think we're going to be okay, but I mean,
Jets Lions. That really is just like a
Jets Lions. It's like, hey, go fuck yourself.
It's really bad.
It literally is that. It's just like, hey, why don't you go fuck yourself?
Go fuck yourself, America.
Yeah. I mean, I guess there's 2 games, so like, oh well, you know, one of them's got to be shitty, and it's usually the Chargers Raiders. So this one,
my god,
this time the early game was gonna be shitty,
and no one ever watches. Oh, who was it?
No, I had to watch it every time because I was with my friend in Albany, and he was a Raiders fan, and we had to watch it every time, and I was just like, this is the worst game. It's already midnight. It's like halftime, and I'm like, this is the worst.
I think the one like 2 years ago or 3 years ago when it was Vikings Niners, and I was just like, this one's gonna fucking suck. But I had Carlos Hyde, and that's when he ran for like 128 yards and 3 touchdowns. Right. And I immediately I think I still lost, but I was like, oh, this is fun.
The last one I remember that I really liked, I think, was like the opening night. It was like Saints Packers or something like that, and it was actually a really good game. Like,
no, that was that was the Thursday night opener.
Okay.
To the season. I think it was after the Packers won the Super Bowl.
Right. Yeah, it was definitely like
it was very good.
Oh, it was very good.
It ended on like the last possession, I think.
On like oh really? I thought it ended on like it was like a late second like QB rush touchdown or something. I don't know. It was weird.
Oh yeah, the Saints won that. Didn't the Saints win that?
They might have. What year was that? Wait, the Packers had just won, so it had to be like 2011. They won in 2010, I think.
I'm looking it up.
Great. How's that going? It was 2011. I think I'm right.
September 8th, 2011.
That's right.
Packers hang on to beat Saints 42-34.
Yeah, it was a really good game. But
shout out to me for looking it up. You're welcome.
Yeah. I knew the year.
Well, that's not really relevant, is it?
No, it was relevant. All right, so
how's trying to make yourself relevant?
Green Bay could make a run this year just with a healthy Rodgers.
Ooh, all right. So how does the draft? Here we go. Evergreen. How does the draft affect the NFL landscape? Are you comfortable in calling playoff teams right now? Ooh, that's a deep breath. I hear it.
Yeah, it was a deep breath only because I wish I had looked at the schedule a little bit more. But let me throw up the teams, and I'll tell you I haven't looked at the schedule, but who I just think based on what I know of the team.
Let's go division by division. We'll start with the winners.
Let's just do that. And are we going to compare it to the 2018, like what happened last year, right? Like who's gonna? I guess we will. Like who's going to drop off?
We can do that.
Not?
We can do that. All right, we'll start in the NFC. NFC West. Who's winning the division? Niners.
NFC West. Hold up. Let me get a better one, sir.
The NFC West is a division
I
football.
Understand. Oh, okay.
It's in the NFL.
I had La Liga up. I don't.
I know you're normally thinking Aussie rules football.
Wait. The New Zealand team?
No, that would be if it's Aussie rules football. Why would that be New Zealand?
I thought they were kind of commingling. Okay. When you're starting off with NFC West?
Sure.
That's where you're starting?
You sound like an old man who's like, what?
Wait.
NFC, what?
Hey, how do I get my Razor phone to work?
Hello?
How does... I opened up the computer. Where's the internet? I can't click on internet.
I can't see you.
All these things are popping up. All right, NFC West. Who do you got?
I got the Niners.
What? No.
Yeah.
Oh my God. All right.
Actually, no, I don't. I have the Rams.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I have the Niners.
I have the Niners and Rams in a close one.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, but I'm going to take the Rams.
Okay, Rams.
I don't think the Niners have the defense yet.
Okay. I like the Niners. They're gonna get an easier.
I knew you were gonna take the Niners. That's why I said it to initially.
They're gonna get an easier schedule.
You're all about this schedule thing.
Yeah, I think the schedule matters. I think it matters what team you face.
The schedule matters?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'd rather be facing the Browns than be facing the Steelers. So I think that matters sometimes to me.
Yeah, I guess matchups are important.
I don't like the Rams because there's too many new pieces for me. I get it, like they were there's this hot up and coming team. They were doing so much and just had a bad playoff game, to be honest, and didn't get further. But to me, I just think a lot more people are going to figure out what they're doing on offense a little bit. I think they'll really key in on Gurley. To say that Gurley is going to have the same season and not get hurt, at least for part of the season, I think is a little risk just put out there. I don't think Goff is like the guy, and they're putting a lot of pieces in place, and they're just kind of one-off rentals, two-year rentals, whatever they are.
Damn, way to just alienate our LA fan base.
Yeah. Well, you still have the Chargers.
That's true.
I get
what do the Rams finish?
I get the hype, but I have learned over the years that the team that wins the offseason never does what I mean, like I always point to that whatever super team Eagles team. Like every team that is like, oh my God, these guys are a force. They don't, it's going to take a while.
No, I don't think they're world beaters, but I think they're good enough to win the division. I just don't think the Niners have any defense or a good enough defense to roll with things. Unless Jimmy Garoppolo is that much of the truth.
I think in NFC West, we've always seen that all the teams play each other very tough. Even when the Seahawks were the top Seahawks.
Oh, yeah, the Rams would
they would have close
the
games with the Cardinals and the Rams.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be bad for them. I think it's going to be pretty hard for them. I don't know. Okay, so what do you think about the NFC South then?
Well, I think
we'll do wild cards at the end of each.
Below the North.
Yep.
The Saints.
Yeah, I mean, you have to think the Saints. Now, how do you like? Now, if you want to extrapolate about that, you can. But I just think it's pretty clear that I think the Saints are going to be one of the better teams this year, and I just really think are the Panthers, Falcons, who's going to get second in the division? Could they possibly both make the playoffs? I think those are the questions that come around.
They both don't make it.
They both don't make the playoffs. So only one team from the NFC South.
Two teams from the NFC South.
So you think the Falcons make it?
I don't know if I think the Falcons or the Panthers, but one of them will get one.
You have no concrete answers to any of these questions I'm asking you.
I just gave you one. One of that there will be.
You said maybe there might be one of the teams.
No.
I think a team who has a bird will make the playoffs. Like, okay, thank you.
The Saints will win the division. The one of the wild cards will come from the NFC South.
Okay, fair.
That's what I was saying, Dick.
Okay, where will the other wild
The
card
North.
come from? The North. Yeah, that's what I figured you'd say. Okay, so who's going to win the North?
The Packers.
And the Vikings are going to get the second wild card.
No. Yes, they are.
Of course. Okay. I actually think the Vikings are going to win, and the Packers will be second.
Of course you do, contrarian. I could see it working either way. I think Aaron Rodgers beats everything.
I just think like the Vikings have a better full team than the Packers do.
I think,
and I know that Rodgers can like kind of pull it together a little bit, but I'm wondering.
Jimmy Graham, Devontae Adams, and Randall Cobb, and then their offensive line is healthy again. I think their draft, they got King last year in the draft, who did decent as a rookie and is only going to be better.
Yeah, I know the corners.
And now with Jair, Josh Jackson, Clinton Dix isn't bad. Like, they've got speed on deep. They have enough on defense to keep teams around like the 20-point mark, and then you have Aaron Rodgers.
I don't like their pass rush. I
don't either, but I think their defense is good enough to like at worst like bend but don't break, like hold teams to 3 or hold teams to like 20 points a game or 23. And if you're doing that, there's a pretty good chance Aaron Rodgers can put up around 30 for you, especially with the offense that they have in place.
I mean,
if the Vikings come in first, I'm okay.
Making the playoffs, I just think like, I just think the Vikings maybe as a more complete team, maybe they just win one more game.
Plus, I don't know if you know this, but because the Packers finished worse in the division, they get to play the weaker team. Yes. I don't know if you factor that in.
Sadly, though, they don't have they didn't finish last in the division.
No, they did not.
No, even though they had a bad season. So they don't get the worst teams.
No, they do not, but they get easier teams than who the Vikings get.
I mean,
if I'm reading this whole NFL scheduling rules thing right,
yeah. But everybody, it's funny because everyone always thinks the teams that were good last year are going to be like, because it's hard to judge. You never know, but it's like, the Eagles could totally take a step back. I mean, everyone's
very true. No, I'm not very like, well, they were great last year, so they're going to be great again this year. I don't do that. I base it every year is different.
Yeah, exactly. So, but no, I agree with you as far as I think we agree on most.
If the Vikings won the division, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm just picking the Packers because
I didn't know if you were going to say that 2 wild cards were coming out of the West. That's basically it.
I could see the Niners contending. The Niners could be close. I think the Niners could be like 9-7, 10-6.
All right.
Or they could be better because, again, they get to play the weaker teams because of how they finish.
Jimmy G.
He's pretty good from what I've heard.
Okay. So the East, you got the Redskins.
Eagles.
You know what? I think the Giants will
don't do it.
At least be 8-8.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see that.
Only because
that offense is going to be hard to stop. They have a bunch of pieces.
Here's my thing.
Is Saquon Barkley a first-round fantasy pick?
No, not to me.
Second round?
Not to me. Yes.
What position is he in the running back rankings? Top 5?
Is he a top 5 running back?
Le'Veon Bell.
He kind of has to be only because he's going to be a solo back. He's going to be in. Well, we don't know what kind of offense he's going to be in.
The Minnesota Viking offense, the Dalvin Cook offense.
No. Yeah, but okay, with worse pieces. So he's going to be worse pieces.
Better receiver and better running back.
Yeah, but not a better quarterback is the problem.
Case Keenum is better than Eli Manning.
Last year and this year, yes.
Wowzers.
Yes, because the value is that he's going to be a solo back, and the value is that he catches a lot of balls out of the backfield if they utilize him correctly.
Le'Veon Bell, Todd Gurley, David Johnson, Zeke, Saquon Barkley.
I could see that in some sort of order.
Saquon Barkley is ahead of Kareem Hunt and Alvin Kamara.
He's not going to be ahead of Kamara is the thing. But I could see people discounting David Johnson because he didn't play. And I could see like Barkley being 5 and Johnson being 6.
So you think Alvin Kamara is a top 5 fantasy running back lock?
Oh, yeah. I think he might be a top 3.
Oh, so that looks like I'm keeping him in my keeper league then.
Yeah, I think just because the offense hasn't changed much. The offense
they got Marcus Davenport now.
Right. The only thing I can see changing is people keying in on him more, obviously, but it's going to be very hard. If Ingram just is consistent and doesn't get hurt, it's going to be hard to. Yeah,
it's hard to key on Kamara because, like, how do you key on him? Like, even Luke Kuechly had problems with him. So what are you doing? Are you putting a corner on him?
I think my big thing is I know a lot of people are going to be gunning for him just because of his stats last year, and I'm going to take kind of the opposite approach and go for Ingram because I feel like more of the offense is going to shift towards Kamara and trying to maybe widen out the wide receivers, bringing a safety down, doing some sort of spy, whatever it is. I think it might open up for the other players. Actually, I tend to think that, like with Gurley, I think maybe somebody else will open up. Well, maybe that offense is a little different, but I actually like if I can sneak Ingram in like the third, fourth round as like my second running back. That kind of thing. I actually think that's kind of the way to go on this. Just because Kamara is going to get so much attention this year.
I can see that being a thing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we got Eagles. I do think the Giants will be a little better. I hate, obviously, that they didn't address. They just are rolling with Eli, I guess, for the next 2 or 3 years. And
no, they drafted Kyle Lauletta. I like Kyle Lauletta.
I know, but I mean, what they could have done and what they did do tell you that they're rolling with Eli for a few more years here.
Yeah, at the very least, at least 2.
You're right. But to their end, I don't know why their defense just completely fell off the cliff like it did last year.
I don't think they were as good as they were. We talked about this. I don't think they're as good as they were in 2016. I don't think
but they're somewhere in between, right?
Yes,
so there's somewhere in between those two teams.
I think their floor is like 6-10, and their ceiling is like 8-8.
Yeah, I mean, so they barely made the playoffs. They were the Bills of 2 years ago. And
you're just such a piece of shit.
And then they decided,
I can hear the smile on your face.
Oh yeah, we made the playoffs. Let's all go on a boat to Miami.
That's not me. Oh, sorry, copy that. I was like, that's the Giants.
Let's all go on a boat in Miami and celebrate our playoff appearance, I guess. And
they're idiots. Well, they're led by Odell, and he's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, and then just lose. And now let's just pay a ton of money for a position that matters, but how doesn't matter in that dollar range.
Yeah, I would agree.
So great, you have Saquon Barkley and Beckham, but
you won't have Odell after this year.
And Evan, no, everyone likes it because it's like, oh, okay, we got Beckham, we got Evan Ingram, we got Barkley. What a beast offense! I'm just like, what have you guys done on your lines, though? I mean, your lines need help.
Nate Solder, and then they drafted Will Hernandez.
Oh yeah, I did like the Hernandez, and I did forget about the Solder. So I guess I do like. I love Will Hernandez as a guard.
I retract my previous statement.
Yeah, I do retract that a little bit. Well, just regular guy talk. Sometimes you just forget shit.
We're just regular guys. Sometimes things happen. Life gets in the way, man.
Yeah, well, I can't be professional. I actually have a job.
Yeah,
all right,
I'm sorry I can't follow every move the Giants make because I'm too busy putting food on the table.
Right, exactly. Plus, I don't even like them. So, all right.
plus, fuck
AFC West.
Broncos.
What? I thought you'd say the Chargers after the love you were trying to give them.
Chargers get the wild card.
Oh, okay. By default, I don't like any team in this division. I'm going to give it to the Chargers.
Wowzers.
The Chiefs are obviously going to take a step back. They started super hot, and then they kind of came back towards the median, I think, towards the end of last year. Barely made the playoffs. Lost a horrible playoff game.
Yes.
The Broncos, despite getting Chubb, I don't think – okay.
The only thing that fucked them last year was poor quarterback play. They still have a very good defense, and now they have Case Keenum. They have weapons on offense. They drafted a good running back, and they still have Sanders, Demaryius Thomas, and they got Cortland Sutton.
I think the defense isn't as good as people think it'll be. It's not,
but still good enough to be. It's
not the Super Bowl defense. And
no. It's not. But it's still good.
And they don't have the shutdown corner they need.
They have Chris Harris, and Roby's not bad. No,
I mean,
I don't think they're still a top 10 defense.
My thing is Roby's got to like step up a bit. I mean, there was a reason they were 5-11. I mean, yeah, a lot of it was quarterback play because I mean
they lost some close games.
Okay, I don't. Well, they're gonna continue to either win or lose close games because this division is not good.
I think the key will be if they can, like, in each game, if they score more points than their opponents, they'll win.
Thanks for that.
Is my thought.
I would say it's going to be Chiefs are last, then the Raiders, then the Broncos, then the Chargers win the division. Only one team comes out of that division.
You just shit on the Chargers, like, in the draft one, talking about, like, yeah, but they're never good enough. They do this every year, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, well, when you're in this mediocre... I mean, look what happened last year. I mean, the Chiefs, well, they started out so hot, but, like, this is basically like the NFC East before the Eagles were good last year. You know how it was like everyone was just beating each other up. And it was like, I mean, that's what this is in the AFC. It's like everyone's going to beat each other up. And I don't think it's great. And if I had to choose a team, I would choose the Chargers.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair, I suppose.
All right, AFC South.
Jags.
I like the Texans. But
I'm aware.
Yes, but I also think the Jags will come out in the wild card. So
your first wild card is coming from the AFC South?
Yes, the Jags.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, NFC North.
AFC North.
AFC, yeah.
Steelers. Ravens in contention for a wild card.
This could be an interesting division to me.
Bengals might do something.
The Bengals, to me, could end up with the first overall pick.
Wowzers.
I think the Bengals
are back to being the Bungles.
I think they're going to choose a quarterback in the top 3 picks next year.
That's a statement.
I think they're going to, one of these, I mean, the next crop of guys, these, was the Oregon QB, what's his, Justin Herbert, and then...
him, and then Drew Lock from Missouri. And...
Yeah, exactly. All these guys.
It's sad that we know who they are already.
Well, you gotta at least look at it, just like, yeah, I mean, well, also, Shea Patterson's moving to my Michigan Wolverines, and hopefully they do something this year.
I don't like the name Shea.
Yeah, you know what? That's true. But it is what it is. He's a very good quarterback. He's transferring. He gets to play. We have Shea Patterson. He was
at Mississippi, yeah?
He was at Ole Miss, yes.
Doesn't he wear like number 20 or some cool
something like
number?
that? Something like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then we got Rashawn Gary as well, who was a beast his freshman year, and hopefully he'll be good as junior year. But I regress. Yeah. He'll be hey, they could both be top 5 picks next year, so we'll see.
They can, but
anyway,
Michigan won't win the Big Ten.
I mean, it's going to be very hard for them, but yes. So we'll see. I have high hopes, but we'll see. But the Bengals could be choosing Patterson come next April. So
I could see the Bengals being like 10-6, but I could also see them being like 2-14.
That's what I think they're going to be. I think they're going to be like a 2-14 kind of team, 3-13 kind of team. I think the Browns are going to be like a 6-10 kind of team.
Wow, 6 wins for the Brownies.
I like Tyrod Taylor. I don't.
Oh God,
I like him.
Why?
I would have took him on my team.
I'm sick of the
Dude, I watch him a lot. I watch him a lot.
Fuck out of here.
I watch him a lot.
Tyrod Taylor's a good quarterback.
No, I don't think he's good. I think he's better than what they've had.
Agreed, but he's not going to get them wins.
I think he will. I think their overall team is better, and I think they'll end up with some wins. Now, do they end up? I don't know. Like, what's the transition like quarterback-wise? Do they let Mayfield go through the lumps? Is it like, if we, is it like near the bye? Is it, we started 1-3, now Mayfield's going to come in? Is it, I don't know. I don't know how that's going to like work.
I think we have to see how it plays out in the beginning. Like, how are they losing and how do they look?
Right. And I mean, if they win a game, first of all, then they would have won a game for the first time in like 2 years or whatever it is.
Yeah, they're 1-31 in the last 2 years. That's god awful.
It is very bad. So it's not a high bar necessarily for Tyrod to cross there. And I like
it's no Cesaro and Sheamus, that's for sure.
Right. I like Duke Johnson. You got
Chubb.
You got Chubb.
No, wait.
No, Nick. Yeah.
No. Yeah?
Nick, yeah.
Didn't the Patriots take Chubb?
No, they took Sony Michel. They took the other Georgia running back.
Oh, there you go.
So yeah, Nick Chubb. They got that. They also got that guard, so a little protection. But they have that tight end that I like, David Njoku.
Njoku from the Canes.
I like him. Is Josh Gordon gonna be okay?
Well, as long as he can stay off the reefer.
Right. So they have a better team than they had last year, like on paper. So I think they're okay. 6 might be strong, but they'll be okay.
Okay.
And then this is the hard one. I think the Ravens and the Steelers both make it.
Okay.
I think the Steelers win the division.
Okay.
But I think the Ravens are that team that no one wants to face.
That's the Ravens every year.
And Lamar Jackson is starting.
When?
Come playoff time.
Why?
Because Flacco is horrible.
When does Flacco get benched?
Maybe like week 10, week 9.
And what's their record?
They'll give him rope.
What's their record there?
The record there, I think they end up like something like a 9-7.
They are not benching Joe Flacco unless they look like shit.
I don't know. I think you underestimate
They open up at home against the Bills. Do they win or lose that game?
Oh, they win that game.
There we go. Of course. Week 2 at Cincinnati. Win.
Oh, we're going through this again?
Yeah, we're doing it right now because this is a statement and a half. At week 2, they're at Cincinnati. They're winning that. 1-1.
Wait, statement and a half by me?
Yeah, by you.
By me?
Yeah, to say that Flacco's going to get benched for Lamar Jackson. So week 1, they beat the
later
Bills.
in the season. They didn't.
Okay, and then still make the playoffs? Those things do not coalesce.
Sure they do. If you bench them in week 10 and they're just like 5-5 and then...
But they're not. Okay, so we're going to see if they're 5-5, what they're going to be. So week 1, they beat the Bills, so they're 1-0. Week 2,
I didn't know they took Orlando Brown.
Yeah, they did. I thought that was a very good pick. And they also got Anthony Averett, the corner from Alabama.
Yeah.
Underrated pick.
So he should be horrible.
Week 1 against the Bills. You calling that a win?
Oh, of course. It's the Bills.
Well, I'm calling it a loss, but whatever. So, actually, no. I don't know. 1-0 for the Ravens. Week 2 at Cincinnati.
Wait, is Josh Allen starting that game?
No, AJ McCarron starts.
Starts week 1?
Yeah.
All right.
We'll come back to that. So week 1 they play the Bills, they win. Week 2 they play the Bengals, another win.
Yes.
Week 3 home against the Broncos.
That's a win.
Wow, so 3-0. Then week 4 at Pittsburgh.
That's a loss.
3-1 at Cleveland.
Here's where it starts. That's a loss.
Wow, 3-2 at Tennessee.
It's another loss.
3-3 home against the Saints.
Loss.
So 3-4 at Carolina.
Loss.
3-5. Home
Here's where they make the change.
Home against the Steelers.
Here's where they make the change.
Okay, cool. Home against the Steelers.
Win.
Fuck out of here. Okay, so fine. 4-5. Bye week. Home against the Bengals. 5-5.
Maybe, you know what? Maybe they lose the Steelers. The bye week's the change. So what are they? 6? 3-6?
Yeah, so they're 3-6 going into the bye.
Okay, let's do it like that, I guess.
Home against the Bengals. 4-6.
Right. Win.
Home against the Raiders. 5-6.
Win.
At the Atlanta Falcons.
Win.
What? Okay.
No, what I'm telling you is Lamar goes on a Jimmy G-like run.
Okay. 6-6 at Kansas City.
Win. It's Kansas City.
I'm also laughing the way I was like at Atlanta. You were like, win. Okay, at Kansas City, so 7-6. Home against the Buccaneers, 8-6.
Yeah, 8-6.
At the Chargers,
Loss.
8-7. Home against the Browns.
Win.
When?
9-7.
That's
Like I
fucking.
said.
You planned that shit out. Get the
No,
fuck
I
out
did
of here.
not. No, I did not. Like I said, 9-7. They just
So
said,
Lamar is coming out and going 6-1 in the second half of the year.
wait. Did Jimmy G not go like 5-1?
They also
On a horrible team, and the Bengals
Jimmy
are on a
G-
horrible team.
no, they have weapons and a good coaching system, and Jimmy G is not a bad quarterback.
Here's
they also
my-
had a good line.
Here's my thing.
Well, the Ravens have a really great defense.
No. Sneakily, it's only one quality win in that 6 wins.
And I like the Ravens. You know they're my second. Like, I root for them if the Bills are trash.
Yeah, I fucking hate the Ravens. So
Oh, fuck you too.
no, like there's only one solid win in that win though. In that streak.
But they're not beating Atlanta, Kansas City, and the Chargers. They're losing one of those games.
I said the Chargers was a loss. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, you did. Backtrack. I think they're not going to beat Atlanta.
The Falcons is the good win. That's the only win that you're arguing, basically.
I don't think they beat Atlanta.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's the big win for them.
I also don't think they beat the Bills. I don't know if they beat the Bills.
Who doesn't beat
And
the
I don't
Bills?
know if they beat the Broncos.
Oh, early on?
Yeah.
The Broncos are going to be worse than you think.
But they are home against Denver.
Yeah, they play good at home.
You know what sucks for them is they open up against the Bills and they have to play on the Thursday night game 4 days later.
Oh.
That sucks. They get that every year. That fucking blows.
Yeah. Well, at least
So
they
the
played
Ravens
the
are 9-7.
awful-ass Bengals.
That's true. So the Ravens are 9-7 and they get a wild card.
Yep.
Oh, okay. But then the AFC East is the Patriots.
What?
And then the AFC East is the Patriots.
Yeah.
Jets
I
finish
hope
with what?
it's not, but-
The Jets finish with what record?
I think that just depends when. I mean, we all kind of have harder schedules. I think that kind of just depends when we make the transition and if we make the transition this year.
So what do you finish at? Well, 2 questions. What is your final record? And when does Sam Darnold start?
I think we are 7-9, and Darnold only plays like 2 games.
Okay. What's the Bills' final record?
The Bills end up like
the Bills and Dolphins. What are their final records?
I think the Bills probably end up like 8-8, maybe 7-9, like us.
Okay. And what are the Dolphins?
Like 3-13.
Fuck the Dolphins.
Dude, they're gonna be worse than us. I don't know why.
Make it Fitzpatrick sweet.
I did see one where they had the Dolphins worse than us. I know we're all gonna be awful, but like the Dolphins clearly to me are gonna be like the worst of our teams. Like I get it. Maybe Tannehill just comes back and he's like, oh, actually, I'm not Jay Cutler. I can actually do things here. But I don't see it. So everyone has their whole division in the top 5 picks. So whatever.
Well, so the playoff teams for the AFC are basically the same, except we're switching out the Chiefs and Bills.
Which can't happen because every year half of the playoff teams switch. So,
well, we did half because 6 teams make the playoffs, and the Bills are out, the Chiefs are out, and the Titans are out. So we switched half.
Okay, yeah, all right. And we did that for the NFC too. Is exactly 3.
Is it?
I don't know. Is it?
The Eagles make. We said the Eagles make. Well, for you, the Eagles make it.
For me, it's.
Eagles make it again.
For me, it's 3.
Eagles make it again. Saints make it again. Vikings make it again. And then the Packers make it. The 49ers make it. And who's your other wild card?
Wait.
Hold on. So Packers and Vikings.
Oh, no. My wild cards. Oh, I see. Yeah. I had
Packers,
the 49ers win the division.
Oh, you didn't call your other wild card for the NFC. You only gave 5.
Oh, really?
Teams. Yeah.
No, I thought I said no. I was gonna go Packers, and then I was gonna go Falcons.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you said Falcons. All right, cool. So then there you go. So then Eagles, Vikings,
Ends up being two different teams. But...
Falcons. Yeah, still close to that.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the part where you get an outro to let you know that the episode's over, but just like the intro, we're not good at outros. So we hope you liked the episode, and if you didn't, take a long, hard look at yourself.
In the mirror.
You sound like an idiot.
Thanks.
You sound like a big idiot.
Okay. In a good way or a bad way?
I don't know yet. I'm going to have to listen to it.
Okay, that's fine. All right, do it again.
In the mirror.
All right, go ahead.